2023 NHL playoffs starting up here soon. This video is going to be looking at the Boston Bruins against the Florida Panthers. This is the first matchup of these two teams since 1996 when the Panthers beat the Bruins 4-1 in the quarterfinals. Of course, it's been a long time now, so these teams have changed dramatically to say the least. Boston, of course, needs no introduction unless you've been living under a rock this whole season. They've absolutely gone on a tear, 135 points. Record for that, record for most wins. On the opposite end, Florida got into the playoffs after a very strong push towards the end, especially in March. Came up short of getting the top wild card by missing a point here against the Leafs, and then also lost their last game against Carolina. So their reward now is to play Boston. Going through it all here, if we're comparing a matchup between the teams, it's very, very stacked for the Bruins. You're talking goals per game is a 3.67, which is good for second. Florida's no slouch, don't get me wrong. They're a 3.51 for sixth. That's still impressive. But then Florida has to go up against the best offensive team in the league as well, with only 2.12 goals averaged against them per game, which is first in the league. Florida is down there at 21st at a 3.32. It's just Florida needs to pay attention to making sure that the defense is going to be as strong as possible against what's going to be a relentless Bruin offense there. As for the power play, here's where the Panthers actually have the tiniest little bit of edge at a 22.8 compared to a 22.2. That's 10th and 12th respectively in the league. I don't think it's not that much of a difference really to matter here in this playoffs. Penalty kill, the Bruins are first, and the Panthers are in the bottom third of the league. You're talking 23rd for the penalty kill. That's probably going to be the weakest point. Even though Boston's power play isn't fantastic, when you're still scoring the second most amount of goals in the whole entire league, you're going to put some in. The Panthers also have to make sure to be aware of that. They are the most penalized team that made the playoffs with 998 penalty minutes. Granted, that came a lot against that game with the Senators, I believe. That racked them all up there. But that is the most out of any team there in the playoffs and was the second most overall for the whole season. Top players, Pastrnak put up 113 points. Fantastic play from him. Tkachuk 109. He was no slouch after coming over from Calgary. The Panthers, I think, once they got him up to speed, he's worked well with the team. And then comparing Olmark here at 1.89 goals against average and a .938 save percentage, which is just absolutely amazing. I believe it's first in both categories. I can't see any reason why it wouldn't be first in both categories. It's just fantastic. And the Panthers, I believe they're going to be starting with Lyon here in net. I think Bobrovsky, as we've seen in the past, isn't always the best when it comes to the postseason. Maybe they might do it with him. For right now, I'm using the stats for Lyon because I believe that they're going to roll with him because he has not been playing bad since he started. He's only played 15 games. It's a 2.89 goals against average and a .914 save percentage. Maybe not amazing, but he has done a pretty good job for him in this case. That being said, this is just an absolutely lopsided affair. I don't see any way the Panthers will win this series. I do think the Panthers can give the Bruins a decent fight, especially if the Panthers can start scoring. If they can start snowballing and get some offense going, sure, they might have a chance to take a game, maybe two. I just don't see how Florida's going to be able to overcome what Boston is going to be bringing over the course of a 7-game series. The question isn't really, can the Panthers, or any team for that matter, beat the Bruins 4 out of 7 games? It's, can a team hope that the Bruins make enough mistakes that they can do so? And I don't see that happening right now, especially against a team like Florida. So I'm going to say it's a 4-1 series here going to Boston, and they're moving on. Florida at least still made the playoffs. I still think there's hope for them in the future here, but it's just not going to be this year for them. So thanks everyone for watching. I have the whole entire rest of the playoffs to go here for this round, and I will be doing a preview of every round here all the way through the Stanley Cup. So feel free to watch the rest of them, and I do look forward to talking to you later. Take care.